listening to the Bored to Death Horrorcast, rendering scary movies and TV shows into wet, chewable chunks.
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, and other assorted gender assignations. Welcome back to a Bored to Death Horrorcast. Happy Thanksgiving. This will, as you're listening to
Thanksgiving.
We're recording this on Thanksgiving Day because, well, we all hate our families. No, not really.
Nope. Just this is early enough.
It's early enough in the day that we can squeeze this in before...
We would have watched this when it came out, but someone had two stupid shifts till 1 a.m.
Yeah, we're talking about the work monster that keeps dragging Chris away.
Yeah, it's kicking and screaming, but it's just like, here's your check.
And then you're like, oh yes, that's why I do this.
Well, I'm doing this all the time.
But we are about to binge the new zombie horror movie, Black Friday. Horror comedy. I know, the only thing I know about it is that it's basically Evil Dead. But no, it's more like, what if zombies attack like Walmart, essentially, on Black Friday.
It seems like it's closer to Toys R Us.
Okay. Big box retail store that's open on Black Friday.
Which would have been.
And it stars Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
I have not seen this trailer, but, you know, I
wanted you to be completely blind other than the title, but then you know who's in it.
Well, it's because it popped up in... Somebody that I know, might have been one of you guys, posted something about it on Facebook. And there was, like, the thumbnail from the trailer with Bruce Campbell front and center. So that kind of gives it away. But yeah, I know very little else about it. And you know, we're now that we're doing horror casts, whenever it strikes our fancy, whenever there's something that we feel like, hey, we should binge this.
There's always horror.
Yeah, there's always horror, but
we'll be into Hawkeye here shortly.
Yeah, Hawkeye will be coming later this weekend as well. We're waiting for Zeke to be available for that because
this is the only ones we didn't do a cast of was What If, right?
Yeah, we didn't. Well, that's for a discussion when we do the Marvel cast for Hawkeye, rather than take up time here on the horror cast for it. Because I'm aware not all of our listeners may be listen to our stuff regularly, so we're not going to waste too much of your time on that. But yeah, so Black Friday, you know, it's like we have all worked in retail. Like, Chris is the only one I think hasn't actually
worked in retail's ugly cousin, restaurant.
You work in food service, which is basically the same thing, except
it's bad, but in its own way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Anybody that's worked retail and has worked at Black
Toys
Friday.
R Us.
That's Sam's horror. I worked at BJ's Wholesale Club for 9.5 years. Fortunately, we never had like doorbuster sales like Best Buy or Target or Walmart. But
you lucked out on that.
Yeah,
Rude over here worked Best Buy for a little while.
I worked it for 1 year,
and then you said
and
never
I ran away before. I ran away. So,
but
I opened a week before Black Friday, and when Black Friday was coming around again, I said, "You know what? I'm not doing this again."
Yeah.
I started as a seasonal.
And Zeke, although he's not here, he knows the horrors of working retail.
He's there currently.
Yes. He got conscripted by GameStop
for like the third or fourth time.
I worked at Kohl's for a couple bucks. I said no.
And that was during the holiday too, wasn't it?
Yep. The Peanut Gallery also has done it.
Hired on Christmas Eve. Jesus, God
damn.
That was a hell of a birthday gift for you.
Do you know what sucks?
What?
It not only was her birthday the next day, but continuing to work there, she was working returns.
Ooh.
After the holidays.
Ooh.
And when nobody else can find anybody else in the store, where do you think they go in Kohl's? Customer service returns. All the time.
Yeah. I think, like, talking to, like, job stuff, you know, I think we've discussed doing a series of themed binges of, like, all the
That we might have to do.
Yeah, for
like
me,
Office Space,
Waiting.
Waiting, and Employee of the Month.
Yeah, because one's obviously Office.
Actually, Employee of the Month is more of a... Oh, yeah, that would be for you. Because it's closer to a BJ's Wholesale, Costco-like place.
But it's like
This one's
it's
closer to me.
if you can think of a better example for general retail movie, because Office Space handles like working white collar, working in an office,
If you've seen
Waiting, obviously, restaurant food service, and
I would say Black Friday for me.
This is why I
Yours
did
is Employee of the
16
Month.
years in the military and went to the CIA. My fear of retail was just too great.
Desperation kicked in for Best Buy, though.
Well, I just wanted more money. I was getting greedy.
and they're like, "What do you think we're made of money?" And you were like, "Yes,"
Yes.
and they were like, "No."
You have a TV over here for $1,500. What do you think?
I think I need that on a discount. Literally,
But
that's all I
you know,
used it for. Was
us doing a binge series of like job related comedies is a topic for another day. But Black Friday, zombies, Bruce Campbell.
Let's get it.
How can you go wrong with that?
We won.
Yep. So that wraps up this intro. So we'll be back after the binge.
As we consume our fare, give us a like and subscribe. If you wish to commune with us, then seek us out on social media on Facebook and Twitter at BTD_Bingecast. The Bored to Death Clan is part of the CKCC Radio Hive, which includes J Bunny's Music Hub, the Race Nerd Podcast, Real Paranormal Talk, Ranking Tracks, Motivational Moves, Park Hopper 101, and the Nerd Table. To appease the Elder Gods, contribute to the CKCC Radio Patreon. Now the binge has finished, so let us purge.
And we're back. This was pretty entertaining. And all of us can basically, all of us that have worked retail can relate to a lot of the
I
feels.
probably relate a lot more than most of y'all.
Yes, because the movie was set at Toys R Us with the serial numbers filed off.
One of the starting things happened in an Walmart.
Yes. The zombies in this movie are basically infected by an alien parasite that arrives on Earth via a meteor shower.
Well, I did say that the movie kind of reminded me of the movie Night of the Comet, which starred the guy who played Chakotay in Star Trek Voyager as the main guy.
Mm-hmm. But once it became clear this is during that opening moment, that opening scene where the first zombie ends up being created. I was like, once again, the end of the world starts at Walmart.
It always will be Walmart.
If you don't understand the reference there, go and listen to our Ghostbusters Afterlife Bingecast, because I made the same joke there. But like the main character Ken is like this middle-aged loser. He has a couple of daughters. He's divorced from his wife, who's remarried, and he works and has worked at not Toys R Us for like 10 years.
We Love Toys.
Yeah, We Love Toys is what it was called. But and he drops. We see him drop his daughters off with his ex-wife. His eldest daughter is just sort of like was complaining about how they had Thanksgiving breakfast, and
I can attest to that being boring as hell.
Mm-hmm. And then we go to not Toys R Us, where we get introduced to our basic cast of characters. We have some, the younger, sort of nerdy guy that's, like a germaphobe. His parents think parents kind of, or at least his dad thinks he's kind of pathetic. We see his dad complaining about him having to leave early while they're still trying to enjoy Thanksgiving dinner. And his mom's like, "Are you working all weekend?" And he just looks up and says, "I don't know. Is Dad still charging me rent?"
I mean,
That was a great comeback.
it's a great comeback, but you also gotta know it's like he's not a teenager. He's in his 20s.
Yeah, I that's a fair point. I hadn't made that clear, but
the dad seemed like he picked on him a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it was a deserved one.
Like, be a man. Back in my day, you would be making twice as much money and own your own home and all that.
you could
It
buy
was more
or
like
you
he
could,
was telling him to be like workshop class and shit like this.
yeah. That comes back later when he's trying to drive the truck, and it's just sort of like, shut up, Dad. I know I should have taken shop class instead. We get introduced to Archie, who's like the maintenance / put the bikes together guy, played by Michael Jai White. He's sort of the resident badass of the group. There's Marnie, who's sort of Ken's like sort of girlfriend. It's even by the end of the movie, it wasn't quite clear what exactly their relationship was going to be.
Really close coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Close coworkers that pass the time
Making out
romantically.
There you go.
We're introduced to Brian, the gay assistant manager. We're assuming gay. Brian presented as very kind of effeminate.
He was so effeminate, it wasn't even.
It was very unclear.
It was like the old SNL character Pat.
Yeah, and I like how they misspelled the character's name here.
Brain.
Yeah, but
Oh shit! They sure as shit did.
yeah, but Brian is
They really did.
Brian is the assistant manager and is.
He's the ass-kissing manager.
Ass-kissing manager, and the one who loves making things miserable for at least
Everybody.
at least for 20-year-old guy whose name was also Chris, no relation to ours.
No relation.
And movie Chris is just he normally works out on the floor, and she puts him. He puts him on register. I keep saying she because it wasn't clear for most of the
most of the time. You kept saying she, and I'm like,
because
Are you referring to?
Yeah, I never caught what the character's name was until late in the movie, and then I was like, oh, well now I feel like an asshole.
And other people calling him he.
Again, it wasn't
pronouns.
quite clear. Anyway, I apologize for misgendering.
How dare you assume their gender?
I misgendered him.
And with your opening, nonetheless.
And I apologize for that.
Oh, it's just ball busting J Day.
I'm just gonna go with.
You just need to be thankful that we're giving you this light of a punching.
This is true.
And there's our thumbs down on this video.
Well, and then it's just we're also introduced to employee of the month.
Oh
Oh,
God!
fuck her.
Or she looks like she had several employees in the
Oh,
Yeah,
she had
oh, yeah.
her own platform.
I mean, yes, in retail, that's where she was, but that literally was my ex-boss, who is now
You're now ex-boss, the one you just quit.
Yeah, who is now without a job herself.
Hey,
We're not
okay.
here for story time from Uncle
I just
Rod
gotta
on
say,
that yet.
No, we save
Road?
story time for later.
Yes.
Rhodes, you just gotta say she's home for the holidays.
Yes, all the holidays.
Yeah, that's right. You could say
holidays.
to your ex-boss,
This
hey,
time-
look at it this way.
this
Now you
time
get to
without
spend time
pay.
with your family. You're welcome.
Right,
This time
you were
without
so
pay.
desperate to try and get your daughter and then your son-in-law in
Anyway.
there. Well, guess what? All three of you, well, two of you are together. I don't think the son-in-law will be for a while.
But anyways, Bruce Campbell. We finally get to him, and
He's the store manager.
Yeah, and he's the overly we gotta do
Bought
everything
into the corporate bullshit.
Yeah, and when it got to the no Christmas bonuses thing, I immediately started thinking of Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, so they're part of the Jelly of the Month Club?
So, I gotta say, all throughout the movie, it was hitting every keynote.
It hit every
Oh.
note I could think of.
Black
yeah.
Friday that I have experienced. The only thing I didn't experience were people slamming on the doors. That was a little played
No,
up.
that was my first one where literally, as soon as the door was open, they literally knocked it off of its track, rushing in.
Jesus.
Yeah,
push them
Again,
through
we
each
had to have Charles County Police actually camp out there because of the ridiculous stupidity. We had people literally, besides the rampant trying to swipe stuff from people, they were standing outside watching who was coming out, and if they saw something that they wanted, they were going to jack you for it right there on the parking lot.
Yep.
My retail Black Friday story comes more from me being as a customer, because I would never work retail. No
Smart
offense.
man.
No problem.
But
Just similarly, I would never work food service.
exactly. So mine involved me basically standing in line at Walmart, just trying to buy. I think it was like a belt or something. I can't remember. It was something small. It wasn't even electronic.
Something you shouldn't go there for.
And I didn't think.
During
And
that day.
and the line literally stretched all the way to the electronics section.
What you do is that's when you go to the changing room during Black Friday, try on that belt, and leave with a new belt.
I literally looked over.
Not that we condone
Not that we
shoplifting.
condone.
And I literally looked over at one of the store employees who was standing there watching everybody stand in this like forever line, and I was like, "How much alcohol do you have at your house?" He goes, "Not enough."
Yeah. As I said, I worked at BJ's Wholesale Club, where we didn't have like doorbuster sales or anything like that, so we never had the.
You never had to worry about opening at 6 a.m. on a Friday.
No. Well, we were opening usually. We were usually opening early on the day, but we weren't like open the night before. And with people lined up.
You guys were
for
probably
hours.
open like an hour or two before your normal schedule.
People came to BJ's after they were done at Walmart and Best Buy and Target.
Figured you guys had the deals, you didn't.
Yeah.
Well, they just go there to pick up other shit.
That
they either got cleaned out.
Pretty much that, and I generally didn't have to deal with a whole lot of asshole customers. But then I'm 6'2".
They will not.
Exactly.
They don't want to approach the guy that dwarfs them. They want to. They want to intimidate the short people.
Which we did see in the movie with the old lady and
with
Chris,
the asshole grandma. Yeah.
with Chris unfortunately having to work register and being told, "Yeah, you're on register tonight." He's like, "Fuck."
Yeah. And the register's not working properly because some of the parasite goo got on the keyboard.
And he's like, yeah, there's like jam or something on this, and it's just like stuck to his finger.
Crusted.
And the entire time she's like, this old woman is sitting there going,
Calling him
"Hurry up, dickless."
Calling him, yeah, like
Pussy and
pussy and dickless, yeah. I wasn't surprised at all when she turned and became one of the monsters.
Of the main monsters.
What was it? So he gets told to go into the back and clean up throw up, which turned out to be like one of the
was like the entrails from somebody that got ripped open or something.
Yeah,
it was part of the pod.
Yeah, it was a part of the
That's what
the
it was.
damn Killer Clowns
Damn,
from
how many
Space Pods.
fucking Thanksgiving sale ads am I gonna get on my email?
All
Yes.
of them. All of them.
Yes.
Christ.
But yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, how the hell are you gonna mistake that for throw up? That's not throw up.
Here's the thing. Brian didn't see it. Brian was probably just told by somebody, "Hey, there's some,"
Clean up on alcohol.
Yeah, pretty much. Someone walked by and said there's some gross on the ground.
and Brian assumed that it was vomit.
Yeah, and things turned south really fast.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and we also got to mention the fact that Grandma went and sat down on Santa's chair.
Yep.
And that's where one of the pods
She
was.
got prodded right up the ass.
We don't see it, but we know
we
it
know
happened.
it.
And the parasites infect you usually by grabbing you by the face with a face full of alien wingwong.
And injecting you that way.
Do you suffer?
You get a face full of alien bukkake, and then you turn into
Do you spit or swallow?
yes.
In this case, you are forced to swallow. But
Well,
by the
they
way-
spit, you swallow.
By the way, the way that the monsters are designed in this, like once they've like fully like mutated, reminded me of the ones from the movie Feast, which is another horror comedy. where it pokes fun at like the stereotypes from monster movies.
I got Nemesis vibes off
of because of the face?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I got that.
But, and like, and Ken is as Black Friday is starting, is being shadowed by the new guy, some guy named Emmett. And I just
love how cynical he was with the kid.
Oh yeah, he was just like, you're
it's like if someone's asking you where the Dunkin' yo-yos are, what do you do? You escort them over to the section and ask them if they need anything.
He's
else.
like, no, you're trying too hard.
You just point in a general direction somewhere away from you, and then they'll find them eventually.
I wasn't usually that bad when I was working at BJ's, but having shopped at Costco and experienced that very thing, yeah, I believe it.
I've had that happen at Walmart once before.
It all depends on the employee you get. If somebody has had like a rough day or they hated it, or
it was multiple employees at Costco.
Oh, literally, they hated their life.
Yes, so I have never had a good experience at Costco. Granted, I haven't had many, but they were staggered over the course of time at different locations. Even never had a good experience at a Costco.
Costco is just one of those black holes that you walk into and it's like, you know what?
I live here now.
Well, I mean, you could just, by going around grazing from all the various demo stands.
Gone off topic.
Yes, we have. But, I mean, the movie, did have, there was a lot of comedy in there, mostly anytime Bruce Campbell opened his mouth.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell.
His character was just...
It's Bruce Campbell.
Michael Jai White, too. Those two carried the movie.
If Bruce was still playing
Not taking anything away from...
the rest of them, yeah.
Ken and Chris, Maureen, all the rest of the main cast were really... It was
very
acting.
well written, too.
Well, oh god, yeah.
The dialogue,
better
between the
than
characters.
It should have been.
Yes.
For a movie like this, being limited release to theaters, released exclusively to streaming 4 days later, and then it's actually unrated, too, I just noticed.
Well, I mean, it's because with the concept like this, they were like, this is not going to do well in theaters, so they just didn't bother trying.
Oh god, this
they should have given
that theater.
This would have. I agree.
A limited release longer than a day. It was like a single day release.
I mean, if they had released this like first week of November, it might have done
It would have cleaned house.
It would have done all right. Being released the way it was, yeah, it's probably not going to go well for it.
If this released last year the way it was, maybe it would have done better.
Probably.
Because everyone's trying to look for something different.
Mm-hmm.
Something to cheer them up.
Yeah. And I liked how in the movie they didn't call them zombies or anything like that.
They called them shoppers.
They just called them shoppers, and I was just like, yeah, I know that feel. That's the Black Friday, mentality.
Well, the shoppers are acting really weird. They're building something in the middle of the store.
Yes.
They're consuming.
They are consumers.
Yes.
Are we referencing They Live?
Yeah. Obey, consume,
buy,
reproduce.
Well, we don't have to do a beat for beat on
Yeah,
this.
we're not going to do a beat for beat. We're trying to move away from doing beat for beat on the Bingecast because otherwise these.
It had the usual third act breakup where everyone's at everyone.
Well, actually, the third act breakup started with the surviving members of the surviving employees barricaded in the back.
Well, yeah, because you always have that moment where it's a downtime and everyone gets to talk out, and then they're letting out their frustrations that they've been holding back.
Do we want to bring up what the old lady, the employee said?
Dr. Ruth, yeah.
Yeah, where she was like, what did she say? The first Black Friday I ever worked,
They separate them by color.
No, they separated by race. That's
Christ.
We were all just like, oh shit.
We're like, oh yeah, those people still exist.
Wait, no. Remember that corporate says they're not going to call it Black Friday anymore. They're going to call it Green Friday.
And that brought me back.
Black Friday sounds racist.
And the problem with that is that actually happened. I gotta say, it was like 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Toys R Us tried to do that?
Everybody that year tried to do it. Toys R Us, Target, Walmart, they all called it Green Friday.
I seem to recall hearing about
Wait,
that.
that was legit?
And it backfired.
And everyone was like, the fuck is that? And then it just never came back after that. And I asked everybody, like, why are we changing it now? It's been this for years. Oh, because some people find it racist. I'm like, who?
People on Tumblr.
And then the
Sons
whole
of
reason
white
why they were
people.
doing it Green Friday is because, yes, they make money on...
That's
this.
why it was also called Black Friday, because your
you're in
accountant's
the
books
black.
go from being in the red to being in the black.
Yes. Which is exactly why it was called Black Friday.
Well,
Friday.
that's how the corporate people think of it. The people on the front line call it Black Friday because it sucks.
It's the blackest day.
And then,
The darkest.
and then besides Black Friday, you had Brown Thursday. Then you had Brown Thursday.
Those are you. Fear my power. Discounts might.
God damn it.
I'll work on that. I can make it better.
Yeah.
Now, see, here's the thing. Whenever I would go back home to North Dakota for Christmas time and Thanksgiving, we showed up and we're going through Bismarck. It's like, whatever you do,
Don't stop.
don't stop. Just grab what you want and run.
Don't make eye contact.
So it's like vehicles of our entire family is in Bismarck, and we're like, all right, we're gonna hit this store. Everyone, you have one item to grab, just one item. Grab it and hit for the counter. And we would literally have all my cousins, uncles, and aunts with one item standing in one line just to fuck with people.
God damn.
So there would be close to 57 of us all together.
Each person with one item.
One item, and we're like, yeah, I'm just eating.
What killed me about the times I worked register Black Friday is they still expect you to go through the whole fucking spiel of protection plans, the credit cards.
I never bothered with any of that
the
shit.
rewards card,
Now, when I was
bonuses, and other bullshit. And I just look at them and I go, you heard the last person? Yes or no?
now,
Okay, go.
We were supposed to do the whole spiel at Geek Squad. Literally, our boss at Geek Squad just looked at us like, whatever you do, just grab the shit, take their receipt, do one thing, give it back to them, and say, yes, we did everything. We are not trying to sit here and listen to bullshit. People were coming up to him, can you ring us up? No, we're Geek Squad, man. But I didn't wear
But
Geek
you have
Squad,
a
man.
It's
It's for Geek Squad, man. It does not go to the rest of the store.
Ma'am,
I mean, we
ma'am,
were throwing
ma'am.
every single line we
This
could
is the
think
Hardee's.
of to just get out of it. And then 2 weeks later, when they were doing the numbers, they came up to the Geek Squad like, why didn't you guys do anything? Oh, we were busy.
So I don't want to devolve this because I would rather do a Bitchcast on working
Oh God.
Black Fridays, retail, restaurants.
I mean, we
etc.
can pad this out a little bit. I mean, we're coming up on the half hour mark, but we can pad it out a little bit more.
I'm just saying, I
This
don't
is
want to
true.
get into stories because
Yeah.
once I start going on Black Friday,
The
I ain't gonna stop.
pain just releases
But
itself.
yeah.
Let's say one thing is that I joined Toys R Us as a seasonal overnight stocking crew. I still had to work Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and all throughout that as a sales floor associate, knowing dilly dick of what the fuck was going on. I stocked the shelves. I put toy up. I opened box, put toy.
Excuse me, sir. Sir.
I mean, people wanted the sale items that were on top that were supposed to be part of Doorbuster number 3. Because you had the 10 to 12 sale, you had the Friday only sale,
That's
you
true.
had the Thursday only sale, you had the midnight to 6 sale, you had the all weekend long sale, you had the Friday through Sunday sale, you had the Saturday only sale, the Sunday only sale. And they just wanted anything they could because they can't read the different things. And corporate seem to think, well, it's good to make these different sales because they'll just buy it anyway. It's like, no, you're just going to correct it later. As I hear over the walkie-talkie, oh yeah, just go ahead. The sales are going to be active for all of them now at any time. It doesn't matter. It's now an all Friday and Saturday sale, including the timed exclusives. And I'm like, so why didn't we take down the stack of RC cars that are $6 that they've been asking me for? Oh, get a ladder there. We only have rolling ladders. There is no room to get a fucking rolling ladder through here. The customers are like, well, we want those. Either you get up there and get it, or we get up there. I was like, either way, this is a fucking safety hazard. I was like, you guys got my back if I climb up this? Yes. Says all 16 of people surrounding me like zombies. I climbed the shelf to the high-rise and looked down, and all I saw was arms and people like this reaching at me like I was in a zombie movie. And I even made that comment. I looked down, I go, I feel like I'm in a goddamn zombie movie. As one person laughed and understood. And I'm like, incoming, and I just started taking them one by one, throwing over my shoulder and looking at certain people and going, you wanted one? I'm like, I saw someone in the high.
You get a car. You get a car.
And you get a car.
I started chucking them.
So, were you the elf on the shelf?
No, I was the underpaid employee on the shelf. Going against company policy.
Yeah, but we're not going to turn this into
like
the
Bingecast. It's going to start.
That's why I'm going to cut you off there.
So it's like when the customers first started rolling into the film, and the second they opened the door up, I immediately looked over at the three of you.
I never had anything, again, because BJ's never had like the crush of people trying to get in.
No, see,
but.
Well,
Sam, yes.
Squad is right there at the front door, so we can see it. And literally, all we're doing,
I was
there's
electronics.
6 of us there.
Oh.
I looked through my plastic screen and just stared at them.
The 6 of us were looking directly at the door, and we just see it like, boom! And just like this wave, and of course you see the people fall down, and we're like, okay, we have a private exit that we can hit. We can get out of here and be safe if necessary.
But at the early on, there was big rushes. There was just crowds of idiots.
Yeah.
Then as it went on, they had barricades, like iron barricades. There was cop protection.
Yeah.
Everywhere. There was news crews later on. I said, "Don't you dare put me on the fucking news. Get the hell out of here.
I will kill you if you."
I do not consent to use my face.
And it started off as a midnight thing or an early 6 a.m. Friday, and then it just went from there and rolled back 2 hours each year I was there. So people were standing out there at 4, waiting for us to open at 6 on Thanksgiving Day.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Brown Thursday.
And some of the first people that were in line during that year, they had fucking shirts on together, says keep on and shop on, and looked at the camera. Woo! Like it's some kind of accomplishment to be like the first 3 people into a Toys R Us on fucking Thanksgiving Day with your stupid ass shirts on.
Mm-hmm.
I stared holes through these people.
Yep.
If
I do
I
believe
was
I was
Cyclops,
there
it
when
wouldn't be a person standing.
PlayStation 4 and the Xbox were released. So
Wii U. The piece of shit system that it was still a hot item.
Yep.
Boy.
Do you have that? Do you have it? Do you have it? Do you have
So
it?
we could all sort of relate to that moment in the movie when the doors opened and shoppers.
The only way that I can relate to it is the fact that when I was still working and living down in Richmond, the place that I was working at was right next to a mall. So guess where everybody decided to go to eat right after they got done.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah, if you're open.
No, we were open.
I was about to say, if you're open, they're eating there.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to be.
Yep.
And everybody somehow thinks that us being open today, they're just going to be like, oh, well, they're going to be busy. No. We might be.
You two should stop by later.
No, I've already told them, I'm like, you won't see me until Saturday.
But yeah, Black Friday was only an hour and a half. It felt longer in a sense.
Did it feel like it dragged on in some spots to you, or
not really?
No, it felt longer, but it didn't feel fluffed either.
Yeah, each segment of the movie lasted about as long as it needed to.
It didn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah,
right.
It got its point across fast.
like the opening thing at the not Walmart, established here's what's causing the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And also gives you a glimpse at the sort of retail manager mindset of we've got sales.
You had one job.
Yeah, you had one job. That's right.
You had one job, Paul.
Oh yeah, and Bruce Campbell was sitting there. He was just like, "Well, corporate said that we hit,
we need to hit 6 figures.
You need to hit 6 figures. You need to do that."
Oh, is that all?
Like, why are you escorting shoppers out?
Yeah, because there was an incident.
Yeah, that whole thing. And
it's kind of like the one time where at work we had an MIT having a stroke, and he was literally essentially in the middle of the kitchen, and where he was at, we couldn't really just get around him. Mm-hmm. And when the paramedics finally showed up, our boss told one of the night guys who had literally just gotten there, he's like, "See if you can get around them and start making the setups for the place." We're like,
there's a man dying on the floor,
right?
And paramedics all around him. Let's see if you can get around him and start doing setups.
Sure, boss. Sure.
Boss, why don't you just carry out the...
How about some basic fucking humanity?
What's that?
Human decency?
And I was essentially...
That would require humans.
And I was essentially at ground zero at the time when I was watching this man having a stroke in the middle of the damn kitchen. I was just like, "Aw." And then he started bleeding out of his mouth, and I was like,
I should put a chicken.
It's never a good sign when somebody starts bleeding from the mouth.
I think he would have bitten through the bone at that point.
Probably.
But Black Friday was definitely fun.
It was more fun watching all three of you guys react, because I know for a fact that all three of you, having worked retail...
I'm sorry I had to shush you in the middle of it, because...
We were cracking
you guys were
jokes.
cracking too many... Okay, it's fine before the dialogue hits, but once the dialogue hits, I'm like, I want to hear the dialogue. It's already proven to be funny.
That's my bad. Zeke has complained about the same thing sometimes.
But like I said, a lot of the stuff on there, like whenever they did something, I would just glance back over to you guys to see how you were reacting. You reacted to practically everything. I'm like, apparently this is hitting something with these guys.
Oh yeah,
it hit everything for me. Every goddamn turn.
I may not have worked at Toys R Us, but I worked retail.
Like
so.
when they brought
throwing
up
somebody on register that has no business being on register, knowing
on the
damn
busiest
well
day
you're
of the
not
year.
getting a paid break is in one 10-hour shift. Another one, telling you to get off register to go clean up a mess. That hit one too. Mm-hmm. When during Black Friday. Because somebody had to decide to shit on the floor or something. I can't even remember. It was just
they made a mess on the floor that involved bodily
They're
fluids.
like, "Oh, there's a mess in the bathroom." I was like, "And you're pulling off register? Why? Why don't you do it?
You're the one who found it.
You're the one wandering around the sales floor. Oh, I gotta make sure everybody else is doing their jobs." Like, there's about 6 other managers here. What are you doing?
Yep, supervising. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, and I'm getting these people out the store like this.
You want to slow that down? I'm making the store money.
It's like, okay, so are you going to take over register for me? No? All
Here,
right,
I'll just, before I go through that, I'm going to go ahead and take the keys with me and unlock all the game shelves. Good luck.
All right, everybody have fun.
Slide. Everybody come get it. I don't care. Walk out with it. Fuck off.
But yes, the movie was fun. Let's not continue the bitch fest too much here.
Bruce kind of like went out as like did the hero thing. Sort of like he sacrificed himself.
No, he basically finally
he went
let
down.
out.
He snapped.
Before he was making it was just about corporate, it's about management. This is what I wanted to do with my life, and then he came to the realization of, I'm just going to let this all out. I didn't like this. Fuck corporate. Fuck the numbers. This and that, and then just sacrifices himself.
And he'd been there for like 27 years.
Yeah.
Probably worked up to manager and then wanted to be district manager and never got that opportunity.
Well, you saw like at the beginning when they were showing like his office, you saw that he was like, like manager of the year runner up.
Damn.
Yeah, I did see that. You mentioned that earlier on.
I was like that. Before you even see this guy, before you even hear him talk, that tells you everything you need to know about him. That he's tried really hard and hasn't been been as successful as he'd hoped.
It's funny, they were touching on points around like maybe 2016 Black Friday, but they had the staffing of a 2021 Black Friday.
Oh yeah. But we don't know about how well staffed 2021 Black Friday things are going to be, because it hasn't happened yet.
In most places.
That's true.
Good old GameStop's open today.
Yeah, well, they can die in a dumpster fire.
Well, Toys R Us
Not the employees, the business.
The Toys R Us already did, so
yeah.
They were the ones that started the whole rollback. When everybody else was opening at midnight, they were opening at 10.
And
just kept on moving back.
And that's when we started getting Brown Thursdays. So called because it's really shitty to have to work on Thanksgiving.
That's the reason why I told them to not schedule me today.
They, BJ's tried doing open on Thanksgiving once. They did not arbitrarily schedule anybody. They asked for volunteers.
Yeah, we got voluntold.
Well,
you either work Thanksgiving Day or Black Friday. And then if they decided to put you on both days, and you ask them why you got scheduled, not one but both, well, you didn't say you didn't.
Well, the 1 year that BJ's tried it, they didn't get enough volunteers, so they came around and started asking people, could you work Thanksgiving?
No, I'm going to be spending time with family.
And that's when they came to me, I flat out told them, no, you don't even ask. And they're like, but we don't have enough people to work. It's like, I'm sorry about that.
That doesn't sound like a problem.
Yeah, exactly. I object to the idea that we're even open that day. I refuse to work on Thanksgiving. I am spending time with my family.
If more people would stop shopping on fucking Thursday, more places would know that they can't afford to pay the handful of employees they have there to open the store for less than a dozen people.
I refuse to go shopping anywhere.
Or go see a movie.
Or go see a movie on Thanksgiving or Christmas. And it has come up. There was 1 year for Christmas. My mom didn't have something that she needed for making baking cookies or something. She wanted me to go to Giant to get it, and I told her no. And she's like, and she was like shocked. And I was like, I'm not going to justify their decision to be open on the day by going there and shopping. If you needed the stuff, you should have thought of it sooner.
The day
before.
And
She said, well, then you're not going to have enough cookies. I was like, we have enough food. And I was like, and I even patted my stomach. I was like, I could afford to skip a few cookies. I think we'll be fine.
I mean, last year we were open for Christmas. This is literally the first time that my current location have been open for Thanksgiving and Christmas because of COVID. The lockdown, we lost a ton of money that year.
Yep.
Understandable.
Also lost a ton of people.
About 3,000 to 5,000 employees, corporate and store. And
cutbacks.
What happened was, turns out for Christmas we only made about $1,200 from 4 to close, and
barely enough to pay everybody.
Yeah, and so we were like, this year we were like, okay, are we closed this year because our numbers were better this year than what they were last year, and we still had to open.
Yeah, but
I was having to deal with gun shows and collector shows, and
but that 1 year that BJ's tried being open on Thanksgiving didn't go well, and they never tried it again. And I think there was, as I recall, there was a corporate restructuring after that failure of Black Thanksgiving sort of thing, and the people that had pushed for the idea no longer worked in BJ's corporate.
One of the big things I really liked about this year, and I know they're just doing it to make up for last year, is that their sales on some places are all month long.
Yeah.
Black Friday equal to Black Friday's numbers are all month long. Lots of places are doing price matches, like Insta price matches, not only Amazon, but Target. And some are doing Black Friday week. So starting that Sunday all the way through to the next week into Cyber Monday are all equivalent sales.
And here's the thing: it's like I'm sure they will make the same amount they'll make the same amount of profit over the course of the month. Their employees aren't going to get swarmed and overwhelmed with stuff on Black Friday.
If the biggest time for people to quit too, because they're getting pushed to past their limit, being told, not even asked, to work holidays without holiday pay, without any kind of benefit outside of a normal work day, but you're expected to do so much more, including extended hours, less lunches, less time for anything.
But it's okay. Corporate sent a cake.
It's okay. Man, my boss got his pizza.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, ours. What did we get? We got like one of our I think our HR bought us like sandwiches from like Subway or something that they had the day before that were in the fridge, and then orange juice and coffee. And by the time I got my fucking lunch, everything was eaten. And this was supposed to last us the whole time.
Oh, apparently
for all the shifts. People that were coming in for their midnight shift, and I was there since 6, were partaking in all the food. I went 6 hours without eating or drinking anything, and go back there to find someone that just walked in for their shift.
Time in the retail trenches had its
taking a sandwich like this and then wrapping one up for later. I'm like, motherfucker, you watch. Once you leave, that sandwich is no longer yours. You ain't saving shit.
I think we've sort of finished talking about Black Friday. Yeah. So we should probably just wrap this up before this turns into a rant more than anything, more than it already has. Yes. But Black Friday is definitely something you should check out,
especially if you're an Evil Dead fan, because it feels like an Evil Dead film, but Bruce Campbell's not Ash, so there's no chainsaw. Or
this is a variant of Ash. Who never a
different universe.
A different universe, yeah.
He finally left the S mark.
Yeah, he moved up to management in a different store.
Yep. He never encountered the Deadites or anything, so he never lost his hand.
So he never went to the cabin in the woods.
Yep.
Not that one.
Yeah. They need to do a sequel and have him in it. But Black Friday is definitely something to check out. For streaming services, it's on Prime Video and Vudu for rent and for owner and to own. We do recommend checking it out.
Definitely recommend.
You don't have to have it work retail, but if you get the references, then it's even better.
If you've ever shopped retail, you'd get the references.
Well, you don't know that. You don't know that for certain. There are plenty of Karens out there who will not be able to relate.
They wouldn't be interested.
This isn't how I am when I go shopping. You were like, oh yeah, there was also the old lady at the beginning, or the woman at the beginning who was like, oh, no, I need to use the motorized cart.
Oh yeah,
and she was moving
the overweight Karen on
she was like moving at like half the speed of smell.
But that's going to wrap up this edition of the Horrorcast. So for Chris, Sam, and the Road, I am Jay, and we will see you next time.
You've been listening to a Bored to Death Horrorcast. Our back library of episodes can be found on YouTube or CKCC Radio. We will find you when it's time to binge and purge.